Hi, this is Drea. Welcome to Madre Verde, Oregon. I like to make things and share things that make me happy, and I hope that they make you happy. And if they do, please click subscribe, ring the bell so you get notified of new content. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up because it shows me that people are watching and that they enjoy this. And if you really like the recipe, I'd love it if you would share with a friend. So today, it's Tuesday, but it's kind of already been a crazy week. So I thought I wanted to make a meal that doesn't have a lot of ingredients, but has some yummy food, and generally that means pasta for me. So I'm gonna do a little cutaway and kind of show you all of the different ingredients. So let's get started. I like to get the water going because that is going to take a bit. And I was fortunate. I studied abroad in college. I majored in Italian language and literature, and I love pasta. And one of the things that I learned a lot in Italy, but one of the main things that I learned was that Americans do not salt their pasta water enough. And so when you go there and you're like, why is this pasta so good? Well, there's a lot of reasons it's so good. They have really good ingredients there, but I guarantee a part of it is you probably are not salting your water enough. So I really salt the water. You're gonna think this is crazy. And you adjust the salt then in the rest of your recipe. You can also use rock salt, but someone told me to make it like al mare, so you're gonna make it like the sea. You want enough salt in there that if you taste it and it tastes like ocean water, salt water, you're good to go. It's gonna flavor it. So I'll get that started. The other thing that I'm going to start over here, this is not gonna be very fancy, but it should be good. I'll get some olive oil rolling. I have some diced pancetta. And this is kind of like Italian bacon, but it is absolutely delicious. It's just an easy way to add a lot of flavor. If I can maybe get it open. If you don't have it, you could easily add bacon. Just chop up regular bacon, a couple pieces, and you're gonna get like a very similar effect. It's not quite as swanky as saying, oh, there's pancetta in it, but if you aren't looking for being swanky, then don't. Trader Joe's has it. I think even Costco may have it, but when I go to the grocery store, I often buy pancetta because it lasts quite a while. You can just have it in the fridge, and it's a perfect go-to for this kind of meal when you want to do a pasta dish. Perfect. Can you hear that bacon? I need you to hear that bacon. Okay, so one thing, I did just make you hear the bacon. One thing about bacon or pancetta is there's a lot of fat on it, so you need to render that off, and that just takes a little bit of time. What I like to do, because that does take some time to get it going, is I like to put it in first, then I'm going to add the onions and the shallot and the garlic because I don't want those to burn. Oh, this smells so good already. I swear when you cook it, it's a little bit like kind of like a Sunday morning where you have that bacon going and the whole house smells good. Well, it's the same thing for me. When I know there's pancetta, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have a big old bowl of pasta and it's just gonna be delicious. Wine break. Okay. I'm going to throw in, I was debating, I was gonna take the pancetta out and set it aside, but there's actually so much fat in this pancetta, I'm really not worried about it burning. And with bacon, if you got a really fatty piece, I don't think that you would have to either. So I'm adding in now the garlic, and I'm adding in the shallot. Oh, see, now it's smelling really good. And so far, this is so easy. I have water that's boiling, but I had some farfalle, which are butterfly pastas. And I don't know if this would have been my first choice, but it's what I have. And I had some open, so I'm going to use that. The trick here is to get the water to boil, which if you're stirring at it, it takes twice as long. But oh, this, yes, smells so good. I'm going to throw in my Brussels. I did cut these just because I'm trying to be sensitive to time. I cut them in half and then I cut them again to just make them slim. You could also just like chop them up, slice them, but the more you slice, the faster they will cook. And now I'm just stirring those. What I'm gonna do, because of the whole acidity thing, and I love that, and I think that balsamic tastes really good with Brussels, is I'm gonna just put a little bit on here just to kind of bring out like the smoky sweetness of that bacon. I think we should do, this isn't really Italian, but I think it would be really good. I'm gonna add a little butter. I just have this feeling. I don't want to say like butter never lets me down, but really like butter never lets me down. It's just true. Like, I don't think you can make a wrong choice with butter. So this is called deglazing. This is, I don't want you to be intimidated by it, but when you cook meat and you're cooking all these veggies, you'll start to notice that on the bottom of your pan, it will get kind of dark. It'll start to kind of caramelize and stick to the pan, but all that stuff is really good flavor. And so what you want to do is that you can add water or you can add wine. Why add water when you can add wine? You just pour a little bit on there. You'll hear you'll hear it kind of sizzle. And then you can scrape the bottom of the pan and all that little yummy flavor bits come right up. And all that flavor goes right back into the veggies. So you're not leaving it in the pan. That's not what you want to have happen. So now I'm going to turn this way low. And I'm going to actually, I'm going to try one of these just to see how far off I am. That's a little bit. Here's what we're going to do. Because we got a couple things. I don't want to make my Brussels like a booze hound. So I'm not going to add a ton of wine in there. You can, but since my kids are going to have it, I just have enough for flavor. But I am going to put a little bit of the pasta water, just a bit, in there to allow those Brussels to kind of steam while I cook my pasta. So now all I'm going to do, I'm pouring the pasta in and I'm going to give it a good stir. We're back. Okay, two things. I'm going to talk about the pasta because the pasta is almost ready. But first, I promise you if you watch this channel, I will never lie to you. I want the channel to be honest. I want it to be fun. And so I am going to tell you the truth. I put more butter in the Brussels sprouts. I tasted them and I just thought the butter was really a good addition. So I did. I added more butter and I don't want you to make this at home and then be like, oh, it's okay. And I'm like, oh, it's so good. Mine's so good because I added like 4 tablespoons more butter. But there you go. Now, the pasta. So the box will give you a very good idea of when it will be done. But they say al dente. In Italian, that means to the teeth. And that means like bitey. In America, we tend to cook the crap out of our pasta and it's like mushy and it's not an accent to the dish. That's why we do pasta so wrong. But if you cook it al dente, it has like a texture to it and it's bitey and it makes you full faster and it just gives more texture to the whole dish. So just don't be afraid. Like as you're getting close to that timer, taste it. And different pasta is going to take a different amount of time, just depending on the structure of it. Like this is mashed up, so the farfalle at times the outside of it is going to be done and the inside is going to be hard as a rock and it will just ruin your dish. So don't be afraid to like taste it. And who cares? We're kind of eating like 10 pieces of pasta before dinner, but it's fine. With the magic of video, I now have drained pasta. It's like sizzling on my stove. I did add a splash, and by a splash, I mean maybe like 2 or 3 tablespoons of the pasta water. It's starchy, and sometimes it can help thicken what you have going on with your other sauce. And now I kind of have a sauce because I did add that butter, and there's a little bit of wine, and there's the water from the veggies. So what I'm going to do is just turn up the heat a little bit just to kind of get the excess liquid off of this. And I'm going to go ahead and throw in the peas. And if you don't have peas in this really cool swanky little plastic thing that I got on Amazon that does make, my husband's over here helping me, but it makes me feel like I'm a real cooking show. So I ordered them, and I will actually link them below because I've been saying I'm going to do that, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to link that, and there's another gadget I'm going to link. But I order these, and if we have leftovers, we put them in them, or if we just are like prepping, we put things in them, and they're great. They're like an easier form of Tupperware because the tops match everything. So I feel like they're so useful, and they do. They make me feel like I have my own little cooking show. I do want you to see there's a little too much liquid, and if I just put this in the pasta like this, that I'm going to show this is a no, and then I'll show you again in a minute. If I put that in with too much liquid, what will happen is you're going to add your pasta, and all that liquid and flavor is going to go to the bottom of the bowl. So I'm trying to just cook it down enough to have it thicken a bit. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Pasta bowl. You might notice that I like this color. I do. So weird. People are weird. We are just funny little animals. And I swear that I noticed I love purple. My grandma, when I was a little girl, said that you look pretty in violet or lavender. And so then all of a sudden I became obsessed with purple. It's my favorite color. And I didn't realize that I like decorate a ton of things in purple. And then I named a kid after a color. Interesting. And the same thing with turquoise. I love turquoise and I don't realize it. And then I go to the store. Different shopping trips. Turquoise. Turquoise, turquoise, weird, turquoise. This was a gift from a previous boss, turquoise. So, whatever. It's just starting to get a little bit thicker. And that means that all the flavor is not going to drop to the bottom. I don't do anything fancy with my pasta in terms of, some people are like, it's going to all stick together or put olive oil on it, blah, blah, blah. I don't really go that far. I'll show you here. I don't have a ton of pasta. I didn't do a giant container. My kids will probably want more food, but I'm kind of doing more of the veggie with the pasta, and then maybe we'll cook another thing after, but this is definitely a good first course. It's enough for me and my husband, and then if we need to make some chicken or something for the kids as a second, we will. And really, they have been at home because of the COVID thing, and let's be real, they've been hitting the pantry like it's 7-Eleven, snacking all day long, draining me of any sort of carbohydrate, yummy snacks that I have in the house. We found like 4 ginger ales in the bathroom. I don't even know what is going on, but they are having a great time. So we needed a good hot mitts, and we grill and you cook and you need hot mitts, and ours were burning our hands. And so I went on Amazon. I got these things. They were like $15, but they were on sale, I think half off, like for $7 or something. And they're insane. They look ridiculous, but they are insane. You can just grab stuff and it doesn't hurt. So this is scorching hot and it's not painful. So I'm going to, you filming? I'm going to drop that beautiful deliciousness in there. And I will just kind of toss like so. Okay. I don't need the gloves anymore. Put those in. So this is the part that you don't want to tell your children because they will be like, I don't like pepper. They do like pepper. They just don't know they like pepper. Just put some pepper on it. It tastes better with pepper. Bacon and pepper go together. So then I just toss that. Okay, so this is the gadget. If you've ever been to Olive Garden, you probably have seen this. If you haven't been to Olive Garden, then I will link it and you can see it. You'll see it now, but it is I call it the Make It Rain machine. And everyone should actually have one in their home. If you use Parmesan, if you use the Parmesan that is in the canister, I mean, I get it. Like, have that in case you can never go to the grocery store. But otherwise, like, buy Parmesan, buy pecorino. Like, it's so flavorful, and you can get it everywhere now. We do have it accessible in the States easily, and it just makes such a difference. It is an extra ingredient in your food. Like, it makes that big of a difference in the flavor. And normally I love Parmesan, but I have a very special place in my heart for pecorino. So this is actually pecorino. But here, this is what is so cool. You can put it into this little gadget and you squeeze, and it just, that's what I'm saying, make it rain. It's like you're at the Olive Garden, but it's way better than the Olive Garden. And I like to just like pregame it by putting a bunch on here. Before I even serve it, I just kind of get all that going and I toss it in, because all that's going to do is just make it more creamy, more yum. And then what we do is when we serve it, we will add additional cheese for the person, like, you know, according to their taste. And usually they're like, keep it coming, keep it coming. Oh, okay. Beautiful. I'm going to put more. He doesn't really dress like this all the time, but I did buy him a Michael Jackson t-shirt. So, this is where it comes from. It's comfort foodie. I think it needs red chili. The kids will love it. I mean, it's like a comfort, but I feel like it needs some.
Gotta have a little heat.
Ooh, I know what else it needs. Hold that. Taste that. Okay. This is the other massive trick we talked about last time. Lemon. It needs lemon juice. The acid just, the balsamic is like so sweet, it doesn't quite brighten it enough. And that lemon,
Whoa,
did it?
big difference. Huge difference.
Okay, let me try. We'll see. Because lemon, wow. I'm going to adjust so I'm not. Lemon will do that. You add a little splash and it will just change.
Wow. That's a huge difference.
That's legit. Bacon is really fatty. And that's why I love it, right? Pancetta and bacon is delicious. Plus you have the, in this case we have pecorino, but you have the cheese and you have the butter. So you have all these rich flavors, which are delicious and smooth and creamy, but it will overpower your palate. So adding a little bit of that lemon, I just think like brightens it. And then if you can stand heat, put a little bit of those chili flakes and some pepper, and it's like bright, delicious comfort food. So I hope you enjoy this. I would love to see if you make it and you like this, and share it with a friend, or tell me if you made it and you didn't like it or you had questions, and we'll see what we make again next time. Thank you for watching.